Good morning, students. So today I'll explain using a program. Okay, through a program I'll explain to you the use of the prefix and prefix increment operators. Okay, and then the use of stylistic guidelines in the program. That is what I've taught in programming methodology part. Okay, so I'll show you how to use the software, that is this dev C++. Okay, so what you need to do is that those of you who are using your laptop or your desktop computers, okay, you can Google search for this name dev C++. You can get it easily. Okay, it will be just around 40 to 45 MB, so it won't take up much of your memory space. So this you need to install it. Okay, and then once you click on this, okay, this is how the interface will look like. Then whenever you need to create a new file, a new program, okay, you just say press file new and then source file, or you can simply press Ctrl N. Okay, so here I have created a program which is already on the desktop. Okay, so here the name of the file is operators. Okay, operators, and it is of .cpp extension. So you just need to click on here, and then you can see that this is the program, okay, that I've typed. So as you can see here, the file name is mentioned here, operators.cpp. Okay, so here in dev C++, you can see that there are different color combinations to indicate the different types of keywords and syntax that are used. So in the first case, you can see here I've used the comments here. So one part of stylistic guidelines. Okay, so comments, there are two types of comments. This is multi-line comment and this is single line comment. So single line comments are mostly used in the program itself. It can be used in the program itself because it is only just a single line. It takes up only a single line. Multi-line comments are usually written before the program starts, like here, program to demonstrate use of prefix and prefix operator and stylistic guidelines. Okay, so it is, and it starts with slash asterisk and ends with asterisk slash. Okay, so when you need to continue the statement, the comments in this next line and next line. Okay, so multi-line comments are used. Okay, so comments are actually useful only for the programmers to indicate that okay, some importance of the program. Okay, so it is helpful for the programmers, but these comments are ignored by the compiler, so it will not be displayed on the output monitor screen. Okay, now always any kind of program, it starts with the header file, that is hashtag include iostream.h. Okay, now one thing that you'll notice is that, okay, this concerns for the laptop desktop users and also for the mobile users. Okay, those who are typing the program through the mobile phone. Okay, this is the format that you must follow. You should not write here .h. Okay, .h you should not write, and then always after this header file you should write using namespace std semicolon. Okay, then after that you should write int main and then ended by return 0. Okay, now here in dev C++, you cannot write .h, otherwise it will create an error. Okay, those who are using, suppose like Windows XP operating system, or yeah, like that, or say like those of you who are using this Borland Turbo C++, okay, you should write here iostream.h, and you should not write this using namespace std. You should cut out this one. Okay, now but like I said, I recommend using all of you to use this dev C++. Okay, so this Turbo C++ is not compatible with Windows 7 or higher version. Okay, so but dev C++ is compatible in Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, in any version. Okay, so if I write here .h, okay, now what will happen? So you can press compile, okay, and then you can see that the error is highlighted. So like the error is iostream.h, no such file or directory compilation terminated. Okay, so that is the kind of errors that will be displayed and that will be highlighted when you write. So that's why you don't write here .h. As you can see here, there's a blank line. Okay, blank line in between these two statements. So which means that I'm using stylistic guidelines. Okay, so blank lines and blank spaces, as you can see here, blank spaces. Okay, to indicate the keywords, different keywords, and here also there's a blank space between the return type and main. So blank line and blank spaces are acceptable in the program. It can be used as long as it is used properly. Okay, now here the main function, this is predefined function keyword. So you cannot change the word main to MIAN, otherwise it will create a linker error, okay, which is denoted by a function is denoted by this parenthesis, okay, curve braces, curve brackets. So this return type is telling that int, that means this main function returns an integer value, which is indicated by this return 0, okay. That's why always you write this return 0, which means, which tells the operating system 0 means is an integer value, right, which tells the operating system successful compilation of the program and then terminate it, okay. So the compiler will execute what is within this opening and closing braces, curly braces, okay. So within this opening and closing curly braces, the compiler will execute the main function body. So the compiler will only execute the main function body because the program starts execution with the main function, the program starts termination with the main function, okay, stops with the main function, and the compiler will only execute what is within the main function body. So within the main function body, the variable needs to be declared, because only when you declare the variable, the compiler allocates memory space for this program, and then you need to enter the value here, and then you need to process the formula here, and then you need to output the value here, okay. All this has to be done within the main function body, okay, because so that shows like main function is the most important part of the program, right? However, later on you will see in the later on chapters that other than the main function also there are other user defined functions, okay, which can be used along with the main functions, okay. So here you can see that I have declared two variables int a and b. A and b are user defined. So if I write here instead of a, if I write here suppose like x, okay, then that is also acceptable, provided that here in place of wherever there is written here a, I should change it to from a to x, okay. So then only no errors will be displayed. So this is telling the compiler that a and b are variables which are of integer type, which means that a and b stores integer value, okay. So using the comma operator, I have declared two variables. So by this single line comment, it tells the other programmers also, or other users who are seeing this source code, okay, that okay, this is where you declare the variable, and it ends with a semicolon. So any kind of line statement is terminated by a semicolon, so which tells the compiler to move on to the next line, okay. Now here I have used this comma operator to declare two variables. Now always remember that in C++ programs you have to make the program as short as possible, okay, to reduce the complexity. So here if I use here semicolon and I use here int like this is also same. This is same like the previous program line statement that I've written, except that here now it adds up another next line, right? So whenever possible, when you can shorten the program, okay, using some shortcut keys or something like that, okay, then you should reduce it. So instead of like that, I using the comma operator, I declare the two variables in one line, okay, because they are of the same type. But if suppose this b, okay, this b is float, this is int a, okay, int a and then comma b, because they are both integer. But if suppose b is float like this, right, in that case it should be written in the next line, not in the same line, because the two variables are of different types, okay. So the two variables are of different types, so that's why so it should be written in different lines. So cout is your standard output stream, and cin is your standard input stream. So along with the overload operators, that is the insertion and extraction operator, okay. So the cout will display what is written within the double quotes, that is the string comments, okay, the string constant. So here this string constant is enter the value of a and b. So whatever you write within these double quotes, okay, the compiler will simply print out as it is, okay. Even if you write here enter your name, okay, what is your name, it will display the message without any error. But that's why you should give appropriate string constant values, okay, strings value. So the cout will display this value, okay, this string values, okay, enter the value of a and b. So this is a prompt, because after you declare the variable, the memory space will be allocated, and what is the next step? You have to enter the value, right? So now you need a prompt from the monitor screen to do something, asking the user okay, what are you going to do? Or enter some value like that, right? So that's why this prompt is needed from the C output stream. From the C input stream, you get to enter from the keyboard, which will be entered in the stored in value A and B. So you can see here I've used the cascading operator, right? So that in the same line statement, okay, the two values can be entered and stored in the variable A and B. So whatever, suppose 5, you are typing the value 5 and 5 from the keyboard, which will be stored in this variable A and B, because variables are used for storing the value, right? Data value which is entered from the keyboard. So without using the cascading operator also, okay, I can write down like this: end by semicolon, okay, and then write C in, okay. So here again using the extraction operator. So this is also same, okay. So here this is also same, but then, okay, you are just extending the line, right? So instead of so this way you can write down, okay, or the previous way also you can write down, which is up to your wish, okay. But always remember, you should shorten the program as far as possible. So here in the next line statement, we use the postfix increment operator A++, which means if suppose A is 5, okay, the present value of A, that is 5, will be displayed. After that, A will be added by 1, A plus 1, which I've already taught you, right? So the 6 value will not be displayed here. So here in the next line statement, there is a string constant which is a comma, which is used to separate the value between this and this, A++ and ++A. So in the case of this one, ++A, the A will be added by 1, that is suppose like 6 plus 1, which will be 7. So 7 will be displayed on the monitor screen. Okay, again here again comma, and here in this cout statement, you can see that the two program logics, okay, are in the same line using the cascading operator. Okay, now many students make the mistake here, okay, because we humans are used to reading from left to right, okay, but when we use the cascading operator with the C output stream, okay, then we should not display the output from left to right. It should be from right to left, okay. So first in here, ++B will be executed. After that, comma, and then B++ will be executed. Okay, it will not be B++ after that ++B. That will change the whole output. So if the value of B is 5, ++B means 5 plus 1, 6. 6 will be displayed. Then comma, okay, and then here B++ means 6 will be displayed, the present value. After that only B will get added by 1, which will not be displayed, okay. So suppose I remove this, okay. If I remove this, then it will not display the value 7, okay. So now let's say that, okay, let's compile this program, okay. Let's compile this program, and so here you are getting an error, okay. So you are getting an error that is okay, which is B was not declared in this scope. Oh yes, here I have used comma, right? So it should be semicolon, okay. So once you make changes in the source code, okay, I have changed this from comma to semicolon, right? So when you do that, okay, you have to press compile, okay, so that when you press compile, an object file will be created, right, with the same name. That is, if the file this file name is operator.cpp, so when you press compile, it will create an object file called as compiler.obj, which is the same program but written in machine language, okay. So the computer will understand it and compile it and translate in machine language, okay. Then after that, what will happen is that after that only you press run. So the linker software will create an exe file through which you can run the program and then get the output. So I have made some changes here. I have changed this from comma to semicolon, right? Let's say I don't use the compile, okay, and I simply run it, okay. Wait, yeah, I have already compiled it, right? So now I have to compile it. So now what I do is that, okay, is ID return 1 existed, so another error is shown. So what I do is that, okay, let's say this, I change this to here, okay, and close this, return 0, and then I press on compile. So you can see that no errors are generated now. Okay, then you press run. So enter, suppose I enter the value of a as 5. Okay, enter, and then I value again enter 5. So I get the outputs 5766. Okay, so 5766. Now let's say here I write here cout and then D. Okay, now I run it directly. Okay, let's say I run it directly, and then I'm getting the same output because I did not compile it, right? So when I compile it, any changes made in the source file, okay, will be reflected back in the object file also, and then only you get the correct output. Okay, so I compile it and then run it. Okay, so now 5 5. So you can see here the new value that is added here, 7. So 57667. Okay, so this is what you do when you have to when you make any changes. You need to compile it and then you press run. Okay, so like that. Okay, you can make changes to the program. Okay, suppose like you can remove this. Okay, you can remove this line and then you can add it in this single line statement. You remove this semicolon, you remove this cout, and then you make changes here. Okay, and then you see what kind of different outputs you get. Instead of a plus plus, you try changing it to a minus minus also. Okay, and then see what different output values you are getting. Okay, so I hope that you have understood the use of prefix and postfix operators and the stylistic guidelines, okay, with this program. Okay, so type out this program and then make some changes on the program again and see what different outputs you are getting. Okay, so that will be all for today.